Shocking discovery. Will uncovers Dylan's true identity on the bold and the beautiful. A twist that changes everything. The beach house that once held Luna's dark secrets is about to become the stage for another explosive revelation. When Will Spencer accidentally discovers that his mysterious new friend Dylan is actually Ridge Forrester's illegitimate daughter. The carefully constructed world of Los Angeles' elite begins to crumble. What started as an act of kindness toward a homeless art teacher will spiral into one of the season's most shocking twists, reshaping family alliances and forcing Ridge to confront a past he never knew existed. The innocent beginning. Dylan first appeared in Los Angeles as Hayes Forrester Finnegan's art teacher, a kind, gentle soul who seemed to carry an unbearable weight of guilt. Her accidental involvement in Luna Nozawa's death appeared to be the extent of her storyline, but viewers and characters alike sensed something deeper. When Electra and Will invited her to spend the night at the beach house after Christmas celebrations, nobody anticipated what would follow. Dylan was clearly homeless, living in her car, disconnected from any family support system. The Spencer's generosity seemed like a simple act of compassion for someone in genuine need. At the beach house, Dylan appeared grateful yet guarded. She smiled when Steffi and Finn praised her positive influence on their son Hayes, but her eyes revealed something more longing, a searching quality that suggested she was looking for something beyond mere shelter. Electra found her fascinating, enjoying long conversations about life and art. Will, observant and caring despite his own complicated history with Luna, noticed Dylan's mysterious nature immediately. She deflected personal questions with practiced ease, always turning conversations back to others, never revealing details about her past or her family. The accidental discovery. The key moment arrives when Will notices something peculiar. While helping Dylan organize her belongings in the guest house over the garage, he discovers old photographs tucked away in a worn manila envelope hidden at the bottom of her bag. The images show a young woman who bears a striking resemblance to Ridge, the same sharp bone structure, the distinctive eyes, and an unmistakable family resemblance that becomes impossible to ignore once you've seen it. But there's more. Birth certificates, medical records, and finally, a letter aged and carefully preserved from Dylan's mother explaining everything. In that moment, Will's world shifts. The letter reveals that Ridge had a brief but passionate affair nearly 30 years ago with a woman who became pregnant and chose to raise Dylan alone, never telling Ridge about his daughter's existence. Dylan's mother passed away years earlier, leaving Dylan with nothing but fragmented memories and official documents proving her connection to one of Los Angeles' most powerful men. Will immediately realizes why Dylan came to Los Angeles. This wasn't random chance. She'd been searching for her father, for answers, for a connection to her true identity. Her appearance in Electra's life, her growing attachment to the Forrester circle, it all suddenly makes sense. Dylan wasn't trying to infiltrate the family. She was desperately seeking her place within it. The conversation that changes everything. Will doesn't immediately expose Dylan. Instead, he confronts her directly, but compassionately in the guest house late one evening. He shows her the photographs and asks her directly, "Is Ridge your father?" Dylan's carefully constructed facade crumbles completely. Tears flow as she finally admits the truth she's been carrying alone, the truth she came to Los Angeles hoping to discover more about, the truth that drove her to accept kindness from strangers. She explains that her mother had raised her with stories about her biological father, telling her he was a man of influence and power in the fashion world. As Dylan grew older, she connected the pieces. She recognized Ridge in interviews, in photographs, in the family legacy she'd studied obsessively. But telling him felt impossible. What if he rejected her? What if he saw her as an intrusion into his carefully built life? What if he blamed her mother for keeping such a massive secret? Will listens with surprising empathy, understanding better than most how complicated family secrets can be. He promises Dylan that her secret is safe with him, at least for now. But he also gently pushes her toward the truth. Ridge deserves to know, and Dylan deserves to have her real father in her life, or at minimum, to have answers directly from him rather than living with this burden alone. The ripple effect begins. Once Will knows the truth, keeping it becomes increasingly difficult. He confides in Elektra, who is shocked but supportive. Together, they encourage Dylan to reveal her identity to Ridge, or at minimum to take a DNA test that would confirm what the documents already suggest. Dylan resists, consumed by fear and doubt, but events begin moving beyond her control. Will's knowledge of the truth becomes impossible to conceal when Ridge notices something different about his behavior around Dylan. Ridge is perceptive, and he begins asking questions. Why is Will suddenly so protective of this mysterious young woman? Why does Elektra seem to be hiding something? The tension builds as Ridge demands answers, forcing Will into an impossible position. The moment of truth. The revelation comes neither gracefully nor privately. It happens at Forrester Creations during a tense business meeting when Ridge makes a casual comment that triggers something in Will's expression. One moment of vulnerability, one question asked in the wrong way, and suddenly Will is forced to reveal what he knows. He presents the documents, explains the photographs, and watches as the color drains from Ridge's face. Ridge's reaction is complex shock, anger at being kept in the dark, confusion about his own past, and beneath it all, a strange sense of recognition. He's always believed he knew his own history, his own mistakes. Now he's confronted with a daughter he never knew existed, a woman who bears his features and carries his blood. The emotional fallout. Brooke is devastated by the revelation not because she didn't know about Ridge's past indiscretions, but because yet another secret has shaken the foundation of their relationship. She wants to support Ridge, but this discovery also raises questions about what else he might not have told her. When Ridge finally meets with Dylan, the conversation is emotionally charged. She's terrified, expecting rejection. Instead, Ridge is forced to confront his own failings. He never knew about Dylan's mother, never had a choice in this story. But that doesn't erase the fact that he's been absent from Dylan's entire life. The guilt is enormous, and Ridge struggles with how to process it. Steffi and Thomas have their own complicated reactions. Steffi feels sympathy for Dylan, but also worries about how this might affect family dynamics and business operations at Forrester Creations. Thomas, more removed from the immediate family drama, offers unexpected support perhaps because he knows what it's like to have complicated family relationships. Looking forward, as Dylan becomes a confirmed member of the Forrester family, questions emerge about her future. Will she have a role at Forrester Creations? Will Ridge take responsibility for the years he missed? Can Dylan truly be accepted into a family that functions on secrets and deception? The discovery that Dylan is Ridge's daughter isn't just a plot twist, it's a catalyst for deeper exploration of family, identity, and redemption. Will's decision to reveal the truth sets off a chain of events that will redefine relationships and test loyalties in ways no one anticipated. For Dylan, it represents both an answer to her deepest longing and the beginning of a complicated new chapter where belonging comes with a price. The bold and the beautiful has always thrived on family secrets and shocking revelations. Dylan's true identity as Ridge Forrester's daughter promises to deliver drama that will resonate throughout the entire canvas, forcing every character connected to the Forrester dynasty to examine their own roles in this unexpected new reality. Next, we will learn about the issues surrounding Katie Spencer's potentially devastating health crisis that could shake the very foundations of the Forrester and Spencer families. The latest spoilers and updates from the bold and the beautiful are painting a concerning picture for one of the show's most beloved characters, and fans should prepare themselves for what could become one of the most emotionally charged storylines of the season. The storm brewing in Katie's life. Katie Spencer appears to be heading toward a catastrophic cardiac event that has been quietly building beneath the surface of recent episodes. The warning signs have been strategically placed throughout various storylines, creating a web of concern that attentive viewers have undoubtedly noticed. The combination of her ongoing bitter feud with her sister Brooke Logan Forrester and the mounting pressure surrounding the newly established fashion house venture is creating a perfect storm of stress that Katie's fragile heart may not be able to withstand. These compounding factors are not occurring in isolation, they're feeding off each other, creating an exponentially dangerous situation for Katie's cardiovascular health. The tension between Katie and Brooke has reached unprecedented levels, with old wounds being reopened and new grievances being added to an already lengthy list of sisterly disputes. Their relationship, which has weathered numerous storms over the years, is being tested in ways that even their most difficult past conflicts couldn't match. The fashion industry backdrop only serves to amplify every disagreement, turning what might have been private family matters into public spectacles that add humiliation and professional embarrassment to Katie's emotional burden. Bill's well-intentioned but potentially catastrophic gift. When Bill Spencer decided to purchase an entire fashion house as a wedding gift for Katie, his intentions were undeniably pure and stemmed from a place of genuine affection and desire to support her professional ambitions. However, this grand gesture may prove to be the catalyst that ultimately pushes Katie's already compromised cardiovascular system beyond its limits. The irony of the situation is painfully apparent. Bill's attempt to show his love and confidence in Katie could inadvertently become the very thing that causes her the most harm. Launching and running a fashion house is an extraordinarily complex undertaking that would challenge even the most seasoned industry veterans in perfect health. The fashion world is notoriously cutthroat, demanding impossible hours, constant innovation, and the ability to navigate treacherous political waters while maintaining creative vision. For someone with Katie's medical history and current health vulnerabilities, taking on such a monumental responsibility represents a significant gamble with her well-being. The daily pressures of managing designers, coordinating production schedules, dealing with suppliers, handling financial pressures, and competing against established powerhouses like Forrester Creations would be overwhelming for anyone. But for Katie, they could prove fatal. The Luna Nozawa incident, a warning that went unheeded. During the chaotic and traumatic events involving Luna Nozawa, numerous characters expressed genuine alarm about Katie's heart condition. These weren't casual mentions or throwaway lines, they were deliberate, repeated expressions of concern that seemed designed to plant seeds for a future medical emergency storyline. The writers were clearly laying groundwork, establishing Katie's vulnerability and making sure viewers understood that her heart remained a ticking time bomb that could detonate at any moment. However, Katie managed to navigate through that particular crisis without suffering the anticipated cardiac event. Her resilience during the Luna situation may have given everyone, including Katie herself, a false sense of security. This might have led her to believe she's stronger than she actually is, or that her previous heart problems are fully behind her. This dangerous overconfidence could be precisely what makes her current situation so perilous. She's not taking adequate precautions or recognizing warning signs because she believes she's already proven her strength. The show's decision to delay Katie's medical emergency during the Luna storyline now appears to have been strategic rather than abandonment of the plot thread. By postponing the crisis, the writers have created an opportunity for even more stress to accumulate, making the eventual cardiac event potentially more dramatic and devastating when it finally occurs. Shifting focus, Katie's heart versus Eric's health. The Bold and the Beautiful has devoted considerable screen time to Eric Forrester's health concerns, with various characters fretting over the family patriarch's well-being and longevity. However, this focus on Eric may be serving as a narrative misdirection, drawing attention away from the character who is actually in the most immediate danger. While everyone worries about Eric, Katie's situation is quietly deteriorating in the background, creating a classic setup for shocking drama. Katie's heart condition is arguably more precarious than Eric's health issues, particularly given the unique combination of stressors she's currently facing. Unlike Eric, who has a strong support system actively monitoring his condition and encouraging him to take things easy, Katie is charging forward with her fashion house venture despite the obvious risks. She's trying to prove herself, to show that she's capable and deserving of this opportunity, even if it means sacrificing her health in the process. The Brooke problem, sisterly sabotage, or justified concern. Brooke's outward display of support for Katie's new business venture rings hollow when examined closely. While she's maintaining a cheerful exterior and offering encouraging words, her actions and subtle comments reveal a profound lack of confidence in Katie's ability to succeed in the competitive fashion industry. This duplicity is not lost on Katie, who can sense her sister's genuine feelings beneath the performative support. This dynamic is creating a toxic environment where Katie feels compelled to prove herself not just to the fashion world, but specifically to Brooke. Every decision Katie makes is filtered through this lens of needing to demonstrate her capabilities to a skeptical sister who clearly doesn't believe in her. This additional psychological pressure compounds the already substantial stress of running a new business, adding another layer of burden to Katie's struggling heart. The situation becomes even more complicated when considering the possibility that Katie might actually succeed. Brooke's skepticism might transform into jealousy or resentment if Katie's fashion house begins to thrive, potentially stealing market share or talent from Forrester Creations. Success won't ease the tension between the sisters. It might actually intensify it in unexpected and potentially more damaging ways. The talent acquisition battle, poaching from Forrester Creations. As Katie's fashion house gains momentum, she'll inevitably need to build a talented team capable of competing with established brands. This is where the situation could escalate from family drama to full-blown corporate warfare. Eric Forrester himself, the legendary designer whose name defines the industry, might be tempted to join Katie's venture either as a consultant or in a more active role. His involvement would represent both a tremendous coup for Katie and a devastating blow to Forrester Creations. Deacon Sharp, with his business acumen and industry connections, could see Katie's new venture as an exciting opportunity worth exploring. His potential defection would add another layer of complexity to the situation, particularly given his relationships with various characters across multiple families. Meanwhile, Hope Logan Spencer, who has experienced her own professional frustrations and conflicts at Forrester Creations, might view Katie's fashion house as a fresh start and a chance to establish her own identity separate from the Forrester legacy. Each of these potential recruits represents not just valuable talent, but also deeply personal betrayals from Brooke's perspective. Her daughter, her former lover, and the family patriarch all potentially abandoning Forrester Creations for Katie's startup would feel like coordinated sabotage rather than independent business decisions. The Ridge factor, when personal becomes professional. Ridge Forrester's reaction to Katie's aggressive talent recruitment will be fierce and uncompromising. As the current leader of Forrester Creations and a man deeply invested in protecting his family's business legacy, he'll view Katie's actions as hostile corporate raiding rather than legitimate competition. His anger won't be the cool, calculated displeasure of a business rival. It will be the hot, personal rage of someone who feels betrayed by a family member. Brooke, as Ridge's partner in both life and business, will naturally align herself with his perspective and amplify his concerns. The duo will present a united front against Katie, confronting her with accusations of disloyalty, opportunism, and deliberately trying to destroy the Forrester family business. These confrontations will be brutal, combining professional criticism with deeply personal attacks that strike at Katie's insecurities and vulnerabilities. The impending medical crisis. With each confrontation, each setback, each moment of doubt and stress, Katie's heart is being pushed closer to its breaking point. The cumulative effect of managing a startup business, battling her sister, defending herself against accusations from Ridge, and trying to prove her worth to everyone who doubts her is creating an unsustainable level of physical and emotional strain. The medical crisis, when it finally arrives, will likely occur at the worst possible moment, perhaps during a crucial business meeting, a heated family argument, or a moment when Katie should be celebrating a success. Bill Spencer will be devastated by guilt, recognizing that his gift, meant to empower and honor Katie, instead became the instrument of her medical emergency. His remorse will be genuine and profound, forcing him to question whether his grand gestures actually serve the people he loves or simply serve his own ego. The fashion disaster Katie fears professionally may pale in comparison to the personal health disaster that awaits her, leaving fans wondering whether her ambition will cost her everything she holds dear.